Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. The Paris Woke Olympics, as we know, allowed two biological men to beat up the likes of several women. And well, the mainstream media cheered and applauded, and the Paris Olympics wanted to gaslight the living hell out of each and every one of us. And well, it looks like women's sports is literally dead when it comes to the Paris Olympics, or just the Olympics in general now. And now that we've got the woke Olympics done, you still got the wokeness continuing with the para woke Olympics, with a biological man that identifies as being transgender entering into female track and field. That's actually taking place. I made a video about that recently. So meet the man, ladies and gentlemen. There's a little bit of fresh air and hopefully a bright light that can make this possible. But meet the man that is vowing to stand up for women's sports as he plots the IOC presidency bid. His name is Seb Coe, who I think if Seb wins, there may be a lot of drastic changes with the IOC and their policies that, or lack thereof, I should say. But nevertheless, I think this is a good thing. If Seb wins, hopefully Seb can do what the other IOC president and Thomas Bach and the rest of these woke monkeys and dingbats aren't doing. And that is protecting women. Rachel Wong posted this the other day, and honestly, I think it's a wonderful thing. So I wanted to share it with you guys because I know I've been talking about a lot of the negative, but there is some positive coming out of this. And let's just hope some of the more positive things that come out of this actually is achieved, right? So it's great to talk about it, but it actually needs to happen. You know, it can psych us all up, but it needs to actually happen. That would be wonderful. Seb Coe could be the next IOC president, with Thomas Bach to step down following his dismal handling of the Olympic boxing saga, who actually said that, you know, we don't have a scientific test to tell whether or not someone is male or female. He doesn't trust science anymore. What an absolute disaster. He says, the reality is very simple. I have a responsibility to preserve the female category, and I'll go on doing that. Man, don't you just love men that actually stand up for what's right and the truth? I mean, we need more of that. We also need more women to stand up for the truth too. I'm not saying it's just men, but both sexes need to come together and say, this is what reality and normality is supposed to look like. Let's go with that. Not this insanity nonsense that Thomas Bach was talking about and saying we need to deny science. We need to deny biology. It doesn't exist. People, that's what Thomas Bach was alluding to. Well, not alluding to, he actually said it. So whether or not he believes it, I think he does, but he's just an absolute dingbat. And I'm glad that he's no longer going to be part of the IOC. And let's hope and pray that Seb gets in. So Seb Coe declares he will stand up for women's sport as he plots the IOC presidency bid. Coe said a clear policy was needed to avoid kind of controversy that has engulfed participation of Iman Khalif and Lin Yuting in Paris. Well, they didn't have any. That's the problem. I don't think that they wanted to either. I think just going, what does your passport say? Female? Yeah, let's go with that. That's enough for us. That's a policy and a half for us. No, it's not even a policy at all. Just a statement. It's like, you're a female. Let's go with that. Sebastian Coe has given his strongest indication yet that he intends on running to become the next president of the International Olympic Committee after vowing to protect women's sport for as long as possible after the boxing eligibility controversy of the Paris Games. Outgoing President Thomas Bach, widely derided for his handling of the boxing scandal that has plagued these Olympics, opened the door for Lord Coe to run when he conceded he was no longer the best captain to lead. I'm glad that you realize that. You can't actually realize that science is real, but you can realize that you're a terrible captain and you're a terrible leader. You're leading everything about the Olympics into the woke garbage toilet. Everything that goes woke turns to crap, as we know. Bach, 70, has been expected to change the Olympic charter to enable himself to continue governing beyond the IOC's maximum 12-year term limit. But the German, buffeted by criticism over allowing two biological male fighters to win Olympic gold medals in the women's boxing, made the surprise announcement he would step down next June, saying, "New times are calling for new leaders," and for the terrible leaders to step down and get the hell out of the way. For the new, better leaders to come in and say, we need to actually bring some normality and reason and rationale back into sports and the Olympics, and stop mocking Christians and stop allowing men to take over female sports and the like. Coe diverges from Bach in his protection of the female category in sport. Asked by Telegraph Sport for his views on the IOC stance, Coe, 67, said, "You have to have a clear policy. If you don't, you get into difficult territory." And I think that's what we've witnessed here. The reality is very simple. I have a responsibility to preserve the female category, and I'll go on doing that until a successor decides. Otherwise, all this science alters. Well, mate, I don't think the science is ever going to alter that men can be women and women can be men. It's never going to change. Like, you cannot change biology and you cannot change that scientific fact. You can try, but you're not going to succeed at doing it. The IOC has been accused of neglecting their duty of care in running Olympic boxing, refusing to intervene as Algeria's Iman Khalif and Lin Yuting of Taiwan took gold despite their sex test revealing XY chromosomes. The male pattern, or that's what a male is, not a male pattern. It's just you're male if you have a Y chromosome. The IOC disputed the validity of the tests. Track and field has seen no such controversy in Paris after World Athletics established a policy last year that athletics with differences in sexual development could only compete if they had surpassed the testosterone below 2.5 nanomoles per liter for 6 months. The average female range is between 0.5 and 2.4. So still giving the men a distinct advantage, even though they claim to be DSD, right? When asked whether he would stand, Coe left no doubt he was interested in taking over the most powerful role in global sport. "I have always made it clear that if the opportunity arose, then I would obviously give it a serious thought," he said. "The opportunity has arisen, and clearly I need to think about it." Well, do more than think about it, mate. Actually go for it. Like, stop thinking and do something. In a highly decorated career, Coe won back-to-back Olympic titles over 1,500 meters and 2 silvers at 800 meters before taking charge of the London 2012 Games and leading world athletics for the past 9 years. "I have been involved in the Olympic movement for the larger part of my life," he said. "I have chaired an Olympic Games from bid to delivery, and 2 years of legacy after that. I have been privileged to compete in 2 Olympics. I have chaired a National Olympic Committee, and I now have the best job in the world as president of the #1 Olympic sport. These are experiences that, when you put them together, as well as other aspects of my life, I think would be beneficial to the role." So I guess we'll wait and see what happens. Hopefully, Lord willing, something good can come out of it, and we can actually move beyond men entering into female-only spaces, because this is going to be an absolute plight and a huge stain on the Olympics for many, many years to come. Like, it's their legacy now. Just allowed two biological dudes to beat up the likes of real females, and you allowed them to win gold. It's like you made a huge statement with that, and not a very good one. So hopefully Sebastian Coe can bring back and remove all the wokeness, but not holding my breath. Not holding my breath at all. But anyway, you guys take care. You be blessed, and I'll see you all in the next video.